it's definitely hollowed out of the inside.
Old trees here.
So guys, guess where we're at today? Today we're doing a little video on Guilford Woods. Decades, or a long time ago, more than decades. New Garden Woods. So we already found a big massive tree. It's on Guilford College. It's privately managed and owned, but the public can access it. Home to some historic stuff. The Underground Railroad. The southern point of that was here, and there is a tree we're going to show you guys. That's one reason why we're here. The Underground Railroad tree, or also known as the Witness tree. It's over 300 years old, and it was here and alive and growing way back then. So let's go check out these woods, and then we'll give you some highlights on it as we hike this trail and explore out here. There's supposed to be an old dam out here too. On I think it's Horsepen Creek that runs through here. There's a creek that runs through the property, and then an easement, conservation easement, connects it to Price Park in Greensboro. And over there's a butterfly sanctuary and a bird sanctuary, and a little small trail. And the library at Price Park is got an environmental theme, and it is one of the busiest libraries in the city limits of Greensboro. So, but yeah, check that stuff out. Look at that thing. I don't know if you can see it good or not, but like he was showing you on that tree. That's a big boy. There's a lot of nichels in it. I guess from the college kids and stuff.
Big guy, man.
All kind of.
It looks wild too.
Old initials in it. As you can see. You see that with beech trees a lot, people carving in them. But no, when you look up on this thing, it is
wow. Look at that.
like he's standing beside that for a second. Watch this. It keeps going. How do people carve their name? There's just carvings all the way at the top.
You can barely even reach.
Hold on, I'll show you. All the way up. And there is people's got. They climbed that thing to carve up there.
That's crazy.
2013, I can see a date. 8/18/2013, way at the top. But see, that's the bottom of this thing, and it goes way up. God. I mean, it looks like a beech tree of some type, but there's a lake down there. But you can't fish that, but it's private. It's on the college, at the college. So, but anyway, let's check this thing out and see what else we find. Huh? We're at the trailhead, apparently.
This is the Underground Railroad information. This is what the park's all built up on.
So yeah, they got a information board out here that talks about the Underground Railroad and all the places that it went. And then even in our state park system, like the Dismal Swamp State Park, it talks about how part of that whole system, the Underground Railroad, even ran through there where people were hiding in the swamps and building little boats to go up the swamps and up in the Roanoke River and all that too. So it's pretty cool. But hey, this is the information board. There's room for a little bit of parking. That's what it looks like again. That's all the routes it talks about and stuff. And then there's the map of some trails and things. So anyway, let's go check it out and see what we come across. Then over here talks about the it's 240 acres out here. And the people at the college, they do history walks through here, and they study, I don't know the word for it, ethnobotany, I ain't saying it right. It's the study of plants and how people use plants to survive off of over decades and centuries. But anyway. But yeah, man, so this here's a point. It's less than half a mile to this tree. So let's go see the Witness tree and see what that's about first. More big trees. But yeah, lots of big trees out here, and there's some a whole big section of this park has loblolly pines. We did read about that too, so you'll see a lot of loblollies out here.
Good God, that thing's huge.
We got some massive trees out here.
Come on, buddy, let's go check out this tree. Come on.
And check this other one out behind us here.
Oh, Lord.
Massive trees. Really big hardwood trees are out in here. He's been carving on this one some, but and so that's what's really cool about you go for woods. You get some big trees.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a couple people hiking in the background with some dogs, but other than that, I mean, it's quiet. But we got to see some massive trees so far. Let's see what else we can find. Check this tree out, guys. Unfortunately, it's busted.
She rotted, fell apart, rotten. They'll all be like that eventually. What happened?
Mother Nature does a number on our big champion trees. But wow, there are some big trees out here in Gopher Woods. Now, there used to be a really massive champion and I think a hickory tree on this property, but it's long gone. Back years ago, one of the storms took it out. Logging took out so many of them, and then now storms. And this one that's on the ground actually has a lot of carvings in it too. And that one looks like it was rotten and some winds took it out. So you got, yeah. But yeah, it's beautiful out here.
There's a foundation there.
Yeah, check this.
Some kind.
Yeah, look at this.
Old chimney or something.
There's an old
Chimney.
foundation. I don't know if that was part of
I won't say chimney, but I don't know.
a chimney or what, but the rest of the rock is gone. There's some quartz in there too. So, yep, there's some sort of a, like I say, some sort of foundation of something was right there. And Quakers lived out in here, and they did some farming and things, but this was probably all mostly wooded, this little section, even back then. Because people would hide out here, and the Quaker families would secretly supply them with food and to their next destination. All right, guys, well, check this out. We found some a rope swing out here that the college kids have put up on this tree. Another big tree coming up. Now, tons of carving, and then look, you got a rope swing. Oh, very well built swing that goes up to that tree limb. The winter's tree, but so I'm not lying. Look at that. Ethnobotanical is the word. How people use plants for survival,
Medicine,
and medications and stuff like that. So it's all about plants and how people use them to survive over decades and decades and centuries and so on.
And also shagbark.
Look at that. Looks like a shagbark here, guys.
She's dropping.
Look at that. There's a shagbark hickory near the sign. So yeah, a bunch of nuts on the ground from that. Folks, sorry to disappoint you, damn it. We found a dam. It's unfortunately it's been turned into a mural artwork, which is fine, but here's what was part of the dam to dam the creek. They do got a nice footbridge that goes across this creek. So there it is, folks. At one time, it was a significant dam. That's what's left of it. And more signage of historic stuff about the. We're not going to cover all the signs because that's for people who want to come out here and do that. We don't want to ruin everything, but surprises for you. But yeah, cool to find this old dam. We did want to find that today, and we did. So yeah, it's been painted by the college kiddos. It would look something probably like that all the way around. There's a better idea of the non-painted portion. You got all these rocks built in. And it's big. And the creek's right here that runs through. And water management, flood management, sometimes while they made dams back then. This was probably when the Quakers were here. Sometimes, like I say, it was flood management, water retention, or farming purposes. But it's kind of interesting. At least we saw the old dam. So yeah, it's worth a visit for sure. It kind of ends like right there. And then the bank's built up, so it would have went across. And it kind of has a little slot here where the water, I don't know. It's kind of weird.
At one time, it would have been built up there.
Yeah. And it's big, just so you know. He's standing there at it. Look how tall.
Oh yeah, yeah.
It's tall, see?
It's about tall as a human.
That tells you how tall it is. Alright guys, we're not far from the witness tree, but we want to see this dam. We saw it in the distance. Check it out, folks.
There it is. Witness tree.
It's really big, especially in person. But to give you an idea, it's a tulip poplar. So basically, it's been dated back before 1800. It's a tulip poplar. I think it's the second biggest, largest tulip poplar in North Carolina. It's a champion tulip poplar tree. That is a massive tree.
Look at it. It looks tiny down there.
I mean, just one in and go. It's massive.
That's crazy. That's huge.
He's going to drop down here with it and do it too, but I mean, yeah, look at this thing. I'm impressed with it because in person, I mean, you cannot even imagine this is massive. Did you get how massive this thing is? I mean, massive.
Wow.
Alright, I'm gonna get you with it. Dang, that's huge, bro.
Bunch of these pine trees here.
They claim that these trees right here, they go way up. A loblolly pines.
That's the loblolly.
Yeah. And see, they're not very big.
Nah, these are
But
pretty small.
these are what they say, a whole bunch of, we're running through a bunch of loblolly pines. So we'll keep on going as we work our way back to the car. The loblolly pines, folks. What we learned about loblolly pines, and I believe it or not, way back many moons ago, I was in the FFA in high school, but I lost my tree ID touch. So we wanted to research briefly loblolly pines. They're one of the fastest growing southern pine trees in the southeast. So they're good for reforestation, timber. And I do remember the loblolly, thinking about it as like a lollipop on a stick. I remember that in my tree ID days. So they have these long trunks, very long trunks with nothing on it. The branch then it pops at the top with a bunch of branch. But Ethan over here is going to tell you how to identify them now. And they love full sunlight. Here you go. Tell them about this pine cone real quick.
The pine cones is really prickly. That's how you know it's a loblolly. See them little spikes on there.
And one of them's got you.
Yeah, they will get you. Like a splinter almost.
Ah.
They're prickly. It's
So-
hard to get it on camera, but
Yeah, so these pine cones
they're real prickly.
are
Oval shaped too.
like this, but they got little pricks.
Yeah.
Little pricks, literally, they'll like little,
Splinter
like a
almost.
briar, almost like prick, but they're
Yeah.
like little point pricks are on them. And then, you know, the seeds
In the middle somewhere.
come out, and then, you know, so that's kind of cool, right? And then here's a branch we found on the ground from one of them.
And the branches got 3 leaves on it. Ain't that something?
Yep.
3 little things. Each
And
one of these got 3.
They run about 5 inches or so, yeah.
It's pretty cool, ain't it?
So that's the pine cones there. That's my hiking stick trying to help hold it up too. And then there you have it. Groups of 3, 5 to 6 inches long. Those pine cones
Small and prickly.
with little pricklies on them. And there ain't, we only got the leaves off the ground. You can't take a branch
Oh,
off that
it's
thing.
too
We ain't
Look at
scaling
that,
them
man. Heck
trees.
no.
But what a cool find. Now we know about our loblollies. Now it brings back some memories, refreshes my memory from back when I was in high school, doing tree ID and the FFA. Wow. So we're about to wrap this one up, and we'll continue back toward the car, but we want to just kind of give you a little brief episode here on the loblolly pines. A lot of history here in this forest. It's not one that's extremely popular as far as on YouTube or nothing, because it's not waterfalls, cliffs, big views. There's some neighborhoods nearby, but it had to be protected to keep from it being developed. And the Piedmont Land Conservancy helped do that, and at Price Park up the road, we may try to go there to finish this out, to show you the butterfly habitat area and the bird sanctuary and the library real quick on the outside of that. But other than that, stay tuned. We found a little side trail out here that goes through the loblolly section and back to this big loop. So we hear a woodpecker in the distance. Oh, look at that. Isn't that so cool? Anyway, really neat. We'll catch you down the Narnia Trail. We wonder what the sign was for Narnia Trail. And in this, you have your secret
Tons of pine.
pine.
All these pine cones. Can't really see them, but they're in there.
And see how this pine trail goes through these loblollies and
Look
the
at that.
Narnia. Welcome to Narnia. Isn't that from a movie or something?
I believe so.
And then this will connect back to the main trail anyway. Look at this.
It's like one of the medieval things you see.
But and the reason why we had to do a shorter hike today is we're approaching winter. Tomorrow is winter, 21st of December, and it's the shortest daylight day. So we have very shorter amount of daylight. So we're going to head back to the car, but don't leave, because we're going to wrap it up at Price Park right up the road. Show you a couple of things there, and then we'll wrap it. Wooden bridge over there.
Some strange trees we found growing out of this pond.
Yeah, guys. Hey, this here is a cool find. We're basically back at the car at this point, but we got 1, 2, 3. There's 5 cypress trees growing through here along this pond here. I sure wish we could fish it, but you can't fish it. But there's, yeah, look at the root. Look at those
You
little
can
root
tell, man,
things
the
that are
roots are
sticking up.
coming up. Mm-hmm.
It reminds us of
They're old.
when we found our first cypress ones. They were at Carver's Creek State Park. They have a lot of cypress out there. That's the one that's got all the roots.
Old for sure. Takes a long time for them to grow.
And apparently they used to have a dock out here
Yeah.
There's 2 wooden poles out there,
That's
but there's no, the dock's gone. And then the kids out here have a nice fire pit here near the lake.
Nice
It's
hangout
not really a
spot.
lake, but a pond.
Yeah, nice hangout. Not a bad place.
So Guilford College is a very historic private college, but anybody can walk around out here too. But we thought we'd put it on our channel just because of it being the history behind that tree, the witness tree, and then with the Piedmont Land Conservancy, and we hiked most of their trails. But go to their website, they got a handful of trails that they manage and own, and I've been a part of, like Caraway Creek Preserve, and is one we hike at a lot too. All right, well, our car's right down the road. We're gonna hop in it and head over to Price Park. The car, but guess what we found? Didn't even know it the first time. Painted rock. I don't know if you can see it or not, but it's got little flowers on it.
It's pretty cool.
So we found a painted rock. You'll find these on trails. We're gonna put it back. And this tree that it's at, it's named, but it's a short-leaf pine tree. You can look at the bark and the turn cones. They're often just shorter, smaller, shorter.
Not very prickly either.
More branches, and smaller pine needles are not long. All right, let's head to Price Park. So we're at Price Park. We parked in the library parking lot. We'll show you that briefly as we exit. This is just a 1 mile loop. The only reason why we're bothering with this is you know, it has to do with the Piedmont Land Conservancy. How you say it?
Conservancy.
Conservancy. And I guess we're getting tired. So the PLC anyway had their doings out here as well. So this is protected land, conservation easement, a mile loop in these woods, and it's got like a Virginia pine back here, some tree ID stuff going on back here, and nice little trail that you can just add in. Eventually, like I say, it may connect into Guilford Woods. If that happens, then that's going to make a nice trail system to do all of this. Because in Guilford Woods, you can walk around and get an easy couple miles there. And then you can come here and get another mile in. But if you're walking back and forth from each other, you know, that adds to it. So anyway, before we leave, we'll close it at the bird sanctuary and butterfly sanctuary, which is right down as we exit. But nice little trail. You probably can't see it. There's an owl box. Supposedly they're saying the barred owl lives here.
Yep, supposedly.
So he's in these woods. They got a couple owl boxes up. Yeah. Little footbridge across this little creek. That's a Virginia pine. Let me get out of the sun.
That is one.
So some big Virginia pines here. You can kind of tell the bark's different. And they tower on up and as well, but so, and there's some beech trees that are back here that are fairly decent size. But we stayed local today in Greensboro area. We're not going to be covering a lot of the city parks, nothing like that, but this is managed by the city of Greensboro. Price Park is, and then Guilford Woods is managed by the college, privately owned. So anyway, it's good to get out. We don't have much more left to tell you guys other than we're going to finish this mile trail up, and then we'll film as we exit the library outside. It's got the environmental theme, and hit up at the bird and butterfly field and show y'all that real quick, and then we'll wrap this one. But in the future, we're going to attempt to finish the Uwharrie Trail, and we've got some preserves coming up that we're going to check out too. The 5 Trolls at Dix Park, Durant Nature Preserve, for the secret grandmother tree. We're going to explore that nature preserve anyway, and just see what else comes up in the horizon. So for a little bit, we're going to do some shorter hikes and preserves and things like that until we can get some more daylight out. So what do you think? What's that about?
I don't know what it is about.
So you got this big field out here at Price Park. We're pretty much done with that trail, but so like a right of way goes through here, but there's that, and he sings.
Comes alive.
Ethan touched it or mashed it. What? And you have
There
it,
you are.
people. The
We're at
bird
the bird and butterfly meadow.
and butterfly meadow. Check it out. Get this field. The bird boxes.
Yep.
So they tried the inventory of for butterflies and their
Bluebirds.
Eastern Bluebird Research Project.
That's a snake trap there.
And there's your bird box. So they have several of these throughout the field. And then they got these setups to keep snakes out from the bird feeders too, or predators. But see, they got a nice field. But in the spring, there's a bunch of flowers out here and the butterflies are going crazy. So now you know about Price Park. But we'll go over here in the middle because we're going to try to wrap this up and head on back home before dark. But we wanted just to give a recap of the Price Park since it's part of the PLC stuff and we've hiked on all them trails. But go on their website, Piedmont Land Conservancy. Go to Kerway Creek Preserve, and they got a nice one in Winston too. And then they got a bench out here and stuff. You can just hang out in this field. Big display of Piedmont Land Conservancy. Display is out here. And then you got this nice bench. Birdhouses. Little sculpture. And guess whose name? Yeah, isn't that cool? But yeah, real pretty scenery. We're in winter basically now, or tomorrow's winter. A few hours is gonna be winter. So we did a shorter stuff today. We just wanted to put this out there, but the main, what we've got most out of it today was the Guilford Woods, how historic it is down in there. Stories. And that tree was crazy huge. So y'all need to check that out. There's some massive trees. Pictures and the camera ain't gonna do its justice, but hopefully y'all get an idea on how big of a monster it is with you know, us standing beside of it. Anyway, hit us up, give us a subscribe, like, comment, share, whatever, and who knows where we're gonna take you on the next adventure. A lot of cool stuff. We're just scraping the surface. Catch y'all later.